CG5. If you recognise the name, you probably already have a reaction to it. And if you've spent any time online in FNAF spaces, that reaction is probably something along the lines of CG5 has this reputation of being, and I'm quoting the internet here, not necessarily me, he has this reputation of being really quite cringe, a real meme killer level of cringe, and I've been hearing that for ages. But here's my deal, I've never actually sat down and properly listened to his catalogue, so today we fix that. For a little context about me, you might not know this, but I came up through brain rot content, and hey, I have zero shame about that, but lately this channel has been evolving into something that I really didn't expect, but something I've been really enjoying, which is deep diving into FNAF music. The more I delve into this world, the deeper this FNAF rabbit hole seems to get. Hey, and I'm not just talking about Bonnies. So you're going to be watching me experience a lot of these songs completely fresh, with real first reactions, no prep and no idea what's coming. For each song today, you'll get my live first reaction, raw and unfiltered, followed by a more scripted analysis, where I've actually had the time to think about what I heard. And then, because this is the Macrocosmic YouTube channel, it's getting placed onto a tier list. Yes, we're tier listing all of CG5's FNAF songs. And look, I hate those YouTubers who go, oh, the last one on this list is absolutely crazy! So I am just going to say that the last two on this list are absolutely crazy. Yeah, that's right, run the intro. A couple of housekeeping things before we dive in. If you're photosensitive, please do take care. Some of these music videos contain flashing lights. Also, you can use the chapters feature on this YouTube video to jump around and watch a specific song if that's what you want. You know, just skip to whatever and whatever you want. So, is CG5 secretly a genius? Is he somewhere in the murky middle ground? Or is he really as bad and as cringe as the internet says? Let's find out together. First up, CG5's remix of I Got No Time, originally by The Living Tombstone. This song came out in August of 2017, and it's worth knowing going in that I already knew the OG well. I'm a long-time fan of The Living Tombstone, so it was impossible for me not to have opinions before it even started. I'm interested to see what he does. Will he make it worse? Will he make it better? Will it be about the same? Let me stop talking and let's find out. Animation by Xbox Gamer K. Goodbye. Ooh. Is anyone else hearing wet farts? Sorry, I'll stop singing. I'm really not quite sure how I feel about this. I think we'll see once the beat drops. Okay, it's about the same as the original. The music video is giving me very Minecraft vibes, because it's like a 3D interpretation of a 2D sprite, which is quite Minecrafty. It's interesting that the music video is giving it more of a story though. Hold up. There's something interesting with these background vocals. You can hear CG5 singing in sort of the foreground, but doing the backing vocals. Am I crazy to think it sounds like Yoshi is doing backup vocals on this song? Does it sound like Yoshi to anyone else, or am I tripping? That's an interesting animation. Yeah, I'm not sure if I love this music video. He's fucked! So, remixes have an uphill battle by default. In terms of quality, even matching the original is hard, and being better is nearly impossible. And the original already exists, so something the remix also has to do that the original doesn't is earn its right to exist alongside it. And for my money, this one doesn't. The production is worse. The vocals are worse. I feel like a telltale sign that you're not in for a great experience is when the intro to a song sounds like wet farts. Also, as much as I like Yoshi, it really does sound like he's doing backing vocals at some points. Wrong franchise, man. The video is more ambitious than the original, but more ambitious and better aren't the same thing, and it just comes off a bit weird and a jumbled combination of assets, without any sort of coherent vision. The one thing this song actually does well is that after the final beat drop, CG5 brings back the first verse as an outro. That's unique to this version, and it works. But one good idea doesn't save it. It's going in not good for me, but I do want to point out that this was early in CG5's career. No one's perfect out the gate. This is still going in a low tier, sure, but I don't hold it against him. Next up, Superstar, a Security Breach original song by CG5, released in January of 2022. CG5 and CKG. He's really bringing out the letters for this. Warning, flashing lights. Thank you. That's actually quite useful. If anyone watching this stream has visual sensitivities, close your eyes. Oh, I fuck with this animation. I like this like sort of sketchy storyboardy animation. I haven't said much. I'm realizing this reaction for this song, and because I don't actually have that much to say. Okay, I like this different tone of voice. It's kind of going back now to what it was before. Never mind. The vocals in the mix, at least from what I can hear, they're really like blending in with the instrumentation. It's kind of sounding quite muddy. Ooh, I like this bit. It sort of brought me out of my slumber. A bit of electric guitar can just make most songs better. Just like, even if it's just for like 10 seconds or something. Yeah, as soon as they get this guitar going, I like that. No! And it's low-key emosh at the end. Every time. I feel like every time there's a CG5 music video with like a bit of an emotional ending, you've got Gregory being like, Freddy, no! You get goofy CG5 making a goofy face. Bruh. I've got an analogy for this. You know those videos where you see loads of different coloured paints getting squirted into a big pot by one of those mixing machines in like B&Q or Home Depot or something? And then it rotates until all those various unique splashes of colour have been combined into one glossy, yet completely solid colour. Do you know what I mean? That's the first half of this song. It all seems, if anything, overproduced, to the point where it's overly smooth. And that's a shame, because the storyboard animation is great. Rough, 2D, loads of personality. And as a stripped back 80s synth pop song, the idea is right there. But because of the mixing, everything blurs into everything else. The vocals sink into the instrumentation, and the whole thing becomes this smooth, textureless blob. Like, it's good, but not particularly memorable. And then, over halfway through, the electric guitar comes in, and that does it. Just that little bit of it perks the whole song up. The ending guitar solo particularly is really cool, and it's a really unique thing to bring to this online space. If anything, I wish they pushed it even further. This song is going in mixed. Literally, one element of it is really good, and the rest of it just ends up a bit boring. By the way, the order of these videos isn't in chronological order. The music videos I'm reacting to are all taken from CG5's playlist on his channel called FNAF Songs. And I could not understand the rationale behind the ordering of the songs in this playlist. You know, it's not ordered in chronological order, it's not in reverse chronological order, or even in alphabetical order. So, seeing as CG5 is presenting his songs to the world in a specific order of his choosing, I thought I'd present my reactions to his songs in an order of my choosing. All for the sake of a more engaging video, IMO. Labyrinth, a FNAF 6 song from CG5, released December of 2017. Right, this one is called FNAF 6 song Labyrinth by CG5. Oh, CG5, what a surprise. This video may potentially trigger seizures, or for people with photosensitive epilepsy, viewer discretion is advised. Yeah, that goes for this stream. Oh, it's 5 minutes. This is quite sweet. Okay, this is when it gets epic. Quite chiptune so far, quite 8-bit. Okay, quite like how chill this started off and how epic it's got now and how emotional it's become. Oh, am I tripping, or is this the first female vocalist we've heard? If you've seen my JC music video, you'll know how much I thought the female vocals really brought an extra dimension to JT music. Yeah, I didn't even stop to think that they might do female vocals at one point, and I think that really can make a big difference audibly. So, God, I just keep talking. And now a little duet. Yeah, a bit of female vocals. Just a good little thing to sprinkle in. And nothing more. Yeah, this is kind of hurting my eyes a little bit. Oh, blimey. Don't be ashamed to close your eyes at the moment. Just do my head in. I was getting a bit seizured at that moment, and I don't have epilepsy. And thank you, Scott Cawthon, for the awesome games that you've made for all of us. It's been fun. And thank you, viewers. Oh, I've just clocked it. Loads of people thought FNAF 6 was going to be the end, like JT Music. I remember in their JT Music FNAF 6 song, they were like, "Hey guys, this might be the last ever song that we make about FNAF." Which was funny because it absolutely wasn't. So the structure is probably the thing I like most about this one. It starts calm and friendly, reflective of those peaceful daytime sections of FNAF 6. And then when it switches to the night, the piano and drums kick in and it gets more intense. And I was fully expecting intense to mean annoying electronic music, so that piano instead was a nice subversion. CG5's vocals in the chorus straddle this line between dramatically intense and just slightly too much. I think any more and they tip over into annoying, but they're just about alright. The female vocals add a bit of variety, they're delicate, and the duet moment is a nice touch. It also goes back to the peaceful section at the end, which mirrors the day and night cycle of FNAF 6 nicely. My main gripe is the runtime. It's 5 minutes, and it just doesn't earn that length. It's fine for me. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Next up is Ruined Lullaby. This one's based on Security Breach Ruin, and it came out in August of 2023. Do I have anything to say before I watch this video? No. I'm just finna watch it. I like this. I think this is cool. This is a little bit more chill, which I appreciate. That bit. I'll find out that land with documented reality. Not sure if I like it or if I don't like it. So I'm gonna say it's sort of in the middle. Okay. Power ballad alert. Yeah. I like the bass, I guess you call it. No, Freddy. Baby, don't say a word. I like when they put the lyrics up on the screen so I can sing them as I see them for the first time. I like the music box. I always like it when a FNAF song does a bit of music box noise, because it's a nice little reference. Yeah, I like this. This might be my favourite so far. This got me nodding my head in real life. That was nice. Ooh. It's a bit jarring when you're listening to the end of like a fairly emotional song, and then you see someone making this face coming up in the video. Blimey. So this starts off pretty standard CG5. You probably know what I mean by that at this point, but you can fairly quickly tell it's going somewhere. The big booming drums start to come in, which prick your ears up a bit, and then that chorus hits, and yeah, that's when we dimension shift into flow state for me. It's got this throwback pop quality, a bit 80s, a bit emotional, and pretty professionally produced. However, the Hush Little Baby bridge towards the end is a bit goofy, if I'm being honest, and it doesn't quite land. But I can look past it, because when it goes back to that final chorus, that chorus earns pretty much all goodwill back. Oh, and then CG5 hums The Living Tombstones I Got No Time at the end. Given that his remix was one of his first ever FNAF songs, and more importantly, was the first song we talked about in this video, that was a nice little full circle moment, if perhaps a little random if you're not clued up on the CG5 lore. This is going in good. And honestly, after some of the earlier songs on this list, it was kind of a relief to get to something I could just sit back and really enjoy. Also, you may be wondering where my intelligent and hilarious live reactions are coming from. Well, they're actually taken from a live stream. We do live streams fairly often on this channel, and they're a fun way for me to chat with you guys directly. I'll be doing a stream where I react to every Nate Wants to Battle song fairly soon. So subscribe and turn on notifications if you don't want to miss that. Wonderland was released in August 2021, and it's the song we're talking about right now. Oh, I saw some people in the comments talk about this. FNAF song Wonderland Into the Pit, CG5. This reminds me of one of the Living Tombstones songs. Which one was it? It was the one with Glamorous Freddy in the thumbnail. The name isn't coming to my head, but I really liked it and I thought it sounded quite Phil Collinsy. Is this bit sounding a little bit Beatles to anyone else? Maybe I'm just illiterate with music, but it is sounding a little Beatles-y to me, but with a more modern sort of drum, I suppose. Words. A good time. which, to be fair, is exactly what I said while watching it, and I stand by that. This is CG5 fully in his throwback pop bag, and it suits him. While it's mostly an 80s vibe, there's a 60s quality to the whoa whoa whoas, and it actually reminded me a bit of the Veruca Salt song from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, weirdly. And a slightly Beatles-ish acoustic guitar section that I genuinely liked. The song is called Wonderland, and CG5 has clearly tried his hardest to create a piece of music that genuinely sounds like the audio equivalent of that concept, which is a really hard thing to pull off. My one gripe, and I'm sorry, but my one gripe is the runtime. It's 5 minutes, and again, I'm sorry, but it just doesn't justify 5 minutes. You can feel it repeating itself just a little too much towards the end. But that's the only real thing I dock it for. Despite the drag, this is going high up in the good tier for me. And honestly, it basically takes the throwback pop energy of ruined Lullaby and cranks it up a notch, even though this one actually came out first. Good things come to those who tier list out of chronological order, I suppose. Like It or Not, released in April 2018 by Dorco. This song actually features CG5, and seeing as CG5 has put it on his FNAF playlist on his channel, it's fair game for this video. We hope you enjoyed the song, thanks so much for the support. You can find the acoustic cover here and the instrumental here. I, Dorco, am the night guard / owner. CG5 is helpy. Support CG5 by subscribing and buying his music. This bass sounds quite farty. Yeah, see this? This is Dorco singing right now. And his talking voice and his singing voice sound so different, which is really interesting to me. Like, I would not in a million years guess that this is Dorco singing. Hey, did these models remind anybody else of Skibidi Toilet? And this is CG5 singing now. And as someone said earlier in my comments, that they prefer CG5 as a featured artist instead of a main artist. And I can definitely see that. Quite nice to see CG5 playing a character instead of just him singing, I think. Helpy is an interesting beast, I suppose. It sounds quite professional, which is pretty cool. I think this is definitely earning its runtime so far. It's interesting to see. I think that's a new character that Dorco's playing, because that's not an Afton, is it? That fire doesn't look amazing. In terms of this famous grave shot, I always thought it was pretty stupid. Not in the music video, but the one it's recreating from the game. Because haven't they used the name Fritz for like multiple characters? It's like Scott Cawthon seemingly only knows like 6 names, and he has to reuse them, because there's Fritz, the kid that died, and then Fritz Smith, I want to say, that was one of the security guards who may or may not have been an alias of Michael Afton. And people may say, Michael Afton was just using the name Fritz to pay homage to one of the dead kids. And it's like, really? One of these random dead kids that he doesn't know, he's pretending to like honor by using him as a fake name. I think it's just a sign that Scott seemingly only has a few names that he wants to give his characters, or his human characters at least. I liked that. I think Dorco really did a good job with that one. So this is interesting, because earlier in the stream, someone commented that CG5 works better as a featured artist than as a lead artist. And this song is a decent example of why. There are certain CG5 isms that can get a bit much at times in his solo material, especially his voice, that can grate a bit. So there's something refreshing when he's a featured artist on a different song, playing a character, rather than just being himself up front for 3.5 minutes. So if you do prefer him on other songs instead of his own material, I really can't blame you for that. The production in this song sounds polished and professional, which not everything on this list can say. And Dorco's voice is genuinely impressive. And I would not in a million years have clocked that this was his singing voice based off his speaking voice. The two of them blend well, maybe almost a little too well at points. They can come off very similar occasionally, but overall that works fine. My issue on reflection is that same annoying streak of abrasive electronic production that shows up in a lot of earlier FNAF songs. It's at its worst right at the start, and while the music video does its best to cover for it, having the animatronics malfunction at exactly the moment the annoying electronic music noise comes in, it never fully goes away. The chorus melody is solid though, and it ends on a surprisingly satisfying note. This is mixed for me. There are things I like about it, but that abrasive electronic production and the fact that it frankly doesn't stand out much, despite another artist taking center stage, are flies in the ointment that I can't fully ignore. By the way, we're trying to hit 8,000 macro minions by the end of this month, and I think we can do it, but we need your help. So smash the ever-loving fuck out of that subscribe button, and we can create the strongest army on YouTube. And I mean that literally. One day, we will be a private militia. Next up, we have Make Your Move, another Dorco joint featuring CG5, released in November of 2018. Make your move! A nice, realistic-ish sounding drums. I always appreciate a drum kit that sounds realistic, even if it may be programmed with MIDI. And again, Dorco, this just doesn't sound like Dorco to me, and that's a really impressive ability, I think, to be able to change your voice so much to sound like something so different, especially with an accent as instantly recognizable as Dorco has with his talking voice. Oh, this is a really interesting concept to see CG5 talking as Scott Cawthon himself. Oh my god, he has the mimic powers, which is interesting. Yeah, he's using his mimic powers of Scott Cawthon to go into the animatronics, which is an interesting element. I think Dorco and CG5 do work as a duet team. I think that works quite well. That split camera thing doesn't really work though when the Scott Cawthon character doesn't have a face as such. So, 2 Dorco and CG5 collabs back to back, and the verdict on this one is essentially, it's very similar to the other one, but a bit more forgettable, which is a shame because the concept, you know, CG5 literally voicing Scott Cawthon as a character and physically controlling the animatronics, you know, that's fun and it's an unusual angle for a FNAF song. I liked the swing-ish opening, though they do add electronic elements to those drums pretty quickly, which actually works against what makes them interesting in the first place. The 2 voices together are fine, there's a certain energy to it, but if you put both Dorco collabs in front of me and asked me which one this was, I'd probably struggle. The Scott Cawthon concept is the most memorable thing about it, and that's a concept, not anything musical as such. It's going in, I can't remember, and I do mean that. My brain just keeps defaulting to the other one. Crawling in my skin, these wounds, they will not Dolvondo. Released in September of 2017. FNAF Sister Location song with Dolvondo. Oh, hell no. Oh, this is a very knee-jerk reaction. Hold on. Okay, those Ennard lyrics are growing on me. I think it's just the first few syllables of like those genuinely those first like second and a half were a bit. Oh, what is it the kids say? It was a bit goofy. Hold on, let's run that back. Yeah, it kind of sounds like he's got a bit of phlegm in his throat. But then he sorts it out, and then it's fine from there on. This is okay. Again, I'm not saying much. Oh, okay. Sounds like a 2012 banger to me, low-key. Sounds like a song will.i.am might make. I like the drum beat in this. Yeah, let's go. I'm kind of getting hyped. I'm liking it. I feel like it's rough around the shush. It's very rough around the edges for sure, but it's ambitious, I'd say. And the music video is pretty standard FNAF music video fare. Know what I mean? You're only one to take us down. Does anyone else know what I mean when I say that this sounds quite early 2010s to me? I don't mean that in a bad way, by any means. Oh, let's see how they do this shot. This shot is about as good as it was in the full game. I think this moment where he sees his pink/purple eyes in the game looks really quite bad. So this is an early one, and it sounds like it. To me at least, and I could be tripping, but there's a very distinct early 2010s quality to it. I said will.i.am circa 2012 during the reaction, and I'll stand by that. Not as a dig, just as an observation about where CG5 was sonically at that point. You can also hear the Living Tombstone influence quite clearly. But unlike my issues with artists who never evolve past their influences, JT Music. I genuinely don't hold it against CG5 because this was early and he clearly did evolve and has evolved. After a pretty awkward opening, like literally the first 3 syllables specifically, where something's just a bit off, it does go banger mode. And you can respect the ambition. Chill sections, beat drops, breakdowns, the lot. The flow gets a bit curly and vibrato-y at points, and it doesn't really stand out in CG5's back catalogue because, yeah, this is a bit of a banger, but he's made other bangers since that sound fairly similar and better. It's fine for me, just. It would probably be in the I can't remember tier, but I remember it sounding like a will.i.am B-side from 2012, and that's just enough of a hook to bump it up a bit. Also, I'm really trying to avoid any copyright restrictions here because I want my lovely macro minions to enjoy this video in its entirety. But just due to some boring old copyright law, some parts of some songs might not get to be played in full, if you know what I mean. And it goes without saying that a link to every single song mentioned in this video is in the description. Let's keep going. Join Us for a Bite, a cover of JT Music's original, released by CG5 in July 2025. I've heard a clip of this before, but I've just heard the bit of CG5 going, "We lost it long ago, you're not alone, baby." And I remember it being like actually really quite difficult to listen to. So we'll see if my opinion remains the same. Oh, okay. I probably should have realized this from the name of the video. I thought this was going to be a remix, but it's not, is it? It is just a cover, which is cool. And this is definitely my favorite JT Music song, so I'm kind of glad they kept the instrumentation the same. And they're saying vagina again. Vagina, vagina. Oh, here he is. That smirk says a lot. That's a guy that knows exactly what people will think of a CG5 cover of Join Us for a Bite. So join the animatronic family. We open real soon. I think it's okay. You can't really tell it's CG5 singing at the moment. Now you can. I mean, this just all boils down to the question of, is CG5 a vocalist that I prefer over Andrea Storm Caden from the OG song? And I prefer Andrea. I'm sorry CG5. Oh, I don't think that fits his register as such. Yeah, I think putting a human in a FNAF location hasn't really worked in this case. You can see that the green screening isn't, great around his hair especially. I would imagine the green screen wasn't lit very well when they shot his bits. There have been so many music videos of this song, it's cool to see like a different take on Sister Location each time, which is kind of the same but a bit different. Okay, this is the bit that I've seen before, and I remember it being a bit ear bleeding. I'm on the edge of my seat to see how it is. Okay, that wasn't as bad as I remembered, but yeah, I mean, it's so difficult to do a cover that's better than the original. Nirvana managed it, but I don't think CG5 really did, which is sort of fair. Oh my god, beginning. I bet there's someone out there whose favourite animatronic is is Funtime CG5. Oh, and he's doing the TikTok. What a ledge! What a living ledge. Vagina! Oh, go away, you freaky beast. I'm sure most of you know this already, but Join Us for a Bite is a genuine FNAF classic. It's my favourite JT Music song, and CG5 actually covers it very faithfully. The instrumental stays intact, which I was glad about, because the production on the original is strong and there was no need to mess with it. However, the issue here is the vocals. Because the original version was an original, obviously, it meant that JT Music could design it wholly how they liked. So therefore, it's pretty reasonable to think that the melody of the original was built around Andrea Storm Caden's voice, and her range and her key, but CG5 has a different voice to Andrea. So bearing in mind a new artist is coming in with a different key, a different register, and frankly, a bit more scratchiness, CG5 was always going to be fighting uphill. It's not bad, but it's not as good. And with a cover of a song this well known, not as bad as I expected is not quite the same as earns its right to exist. Oh, and Funtime CG5 appearing in the video made me pause it immediately so I could squee XD! It could be a lot worse, but it's going in mixed. The original's greatness softens the fall. G, Lamorous, yeah. This song is a CG5 original, released in September of 2022. It's always cool to film on location, I think. Oh my, watch out! Watch out, white boy, there's a creature behind you! Don't look at me, turn around! Oh, you idiot. Hold up, just music video? I really like this. I'm guessing it's a bit of non-chronological storytelling. I'm picking up the vibes that CG5 and Glamorous Freddy used to be best friends back in the day, and now it's escalated to the point where he's going to get killed by his old best friend. I'm being gripped by the edge of my seat right now. I understand the people who say they don't really like his voice. This one is starting to grate on me, vocal-wise. Cute music video though. Oh, it's that guy again. Blimey. Oh, Glamorous, like glam rock, I get it. This animatronic suit of Glamorous Freddy in real life is crazy good. That's cute. Turtle. And a Freddy. It's quite sad. I'm low-key having an emotion moment right now. What else are they going to see? Hope it's something nice. No! It's a dead child. You're fucking joking. I'm loving this music video, I'm going to be honest. Oh my god. How sweet. They're making amends. That was really nice. Okay, so honestly, the music video is doing a lot of the work here. But I mean that in the best way possible, in the sense that it basically comes off as like a short film. CG5 and Glamorous Freddy were best friends. Something went wrong, it turns out it was CG5's fault all along, and then they make amends. It's ridiculous, it's sweet, it's low-key emotional. The animatronic suit that Deregula Sauce wears is insanely well made, but... And this is the important bit, my macro minions, so listen up! Even setting the very charming video aside, the song holds up. That chorus is genuinely kinda on fire. The moody guitar runs through it almost from start to finish, and unlike the electric guitar in Superstar, which shows up late to save the day, this one is woven into the whole thing. The staccato stop-start feel on the final chorus's instrumental is a great textural shift. And crucially, this sounds not a lot like anything else CG5 has made. It has a real USP, or, a real unique selling point. The reason the top tier is called Silly and Very Fun is that the songs that make it into that tier have earned a special place in my heart. And I think you can tell from what I've said about this song that it's earned a special place in my heart, so therefore, this song is going straight into the Silly and Very Fun tier. I can't help it. So far, in our CG5 journey, in my opinion, this is the best FNAF song he's made. Also, I have a Twitter now, also known as an X account. So if you want more of me, then follow me on there. It's Been So Long, a remix of the classic Living Tombstone original, released by CG5 in April 2020. It's Been So Long. This is the OG by the Living Tombstone and this is the coldest take of all time. Like, everyone is probably going to agree with me, but It's Been So Long by the Living Tombstone is my favourite Freddy song, I think. Oh no, it's one where we have to see him singing. They're never as good. Can CG5 do it justice? Let's find out. So far, no. Ooh, sounds a bit offbeat. He's got it back now, but that first Is This Revenge I'm Seeking? I'm tripping, but it sounds a bit offbeat. Yeah, I feel like it should have been shifted like a syllable earlier. Yeah, this is not a patch on the original. Sorry, CG5. Don't do that. Oh, don't like this. It's all going to come down to the beat drop though. Mark my words. I wonder if he's going to call himself the mother. Yes, he is. Mother! Beat drop could be a lot worse, let's be honest. Still not as good as the OG, and this music video is not helping things. I never thought that line was great. Your little smile is I remember. Yeah, see, that sounded a bit offbeat as well. shut it. The original vocals have a real, like, fragile, broken sense to them. Like, it really does sound like a mother just about keeping it together. And I'm not saying that CG5 needs to do that exact same thing if he doesn't feel like it, but this isn't sounding like a parent. Actually, that's sad. I mean, it sounds like it's a guy singing, which sort of loses its bite of a song about a grieving parent. This is just a song sung by a 20-something about a killer teddy bear. And that sounded a bit out of beat to me as well. He gooning. So, It's Been So Long is my favourite FNAF song, and CG5 has remixed it. Let's just try and break this down. The original has this fragile, barely holding it together quality to the vocals. It really does sound like a grieving parent, just about keeping it together by a thread, which, you know, lyrically is what the song is all about. That's the entire emotional core of it. Despite the CG5 version having all the same lyrics, you know, musically, the tone sounds very different. This version sounds like a 20-something singing about a killer animatronic video game series. That sense of grief really is gone. And it's not that I needed him to replicate the exact same vocal approach, but if you don't want to capture the brokenness of the original, at least in your own way, with your vocals, then, I don't know, maybe this song isn't one you should cover. What makes this particularly frustrating is that he's essentially hyperfied the production on top of it. You know, the beat drops more emphasized, the jittery and glitch effects are there, and that woo sound effect. You know, all those things are in there while he's keeping the lyrics about a kidnapped and murdered child completely intact. You know, you've made a club track about a grieving parent, and those two things don't go together, especially when a superior version already exists and was created years earlier than this version. There are also moments where things feel slightly offbeat, which doesn't help. And on top of all of this, CG5 dancing around in the video like, well, the way he was dancing in the video, you know, that's its own separate issue. This is going right to the bottom of a tier that I like to call Shut Up Now. Don't make me unleash my Sigma gamer rage. I'm really sick and tired of people like you doing rubbish remixes. This is just a genuine misunderstanding of the source material. So far in our CG5 journey, in my opinion, this is the worst FNAF song that he has made. On that note, that's going to do it for part 1 of the CG5 FNAF tier list. And yes, I did say part 1 because there is a part 2 and it's coming out next week. And sources are saying that in part 2, I discover my new favourite CG5 song and my new least favourite. So you're going to want to subscribe so you don't miss it. But for now, we've got a partial tier list taking shape. And I want to know, what do you think? Do you agree with my placements? Have I been too harsh or not harsh enough? Is CG5 a misunderstood genius, or is the internet right about his cringiness? Tell me in the comments.
Tell me now.
Remember, our goal is 8,000 macro minions by the end of the month. So if you haven't subscribed already, you better do it now! And if you want to support the channel in other ways, you can gift me a coffee with the link in the description. Damn, I'm on my baby shit. Oops, I scooped again. Damn, I'm on my Funtime Freddy shit. I got one hand. Damn, we dragging the outro. I'm gonna stop right now.